Alright, this is Michael Stewart. I'm the chairman of Game On Glen Rock, and we're here at the Lower Faber complex. This is the complex that we are looking to renovate and install an artificial turf complex, which is desperately needed because this particular complex, Lower Faber, is constantly out of commission as a result of bad field conditions, flooding, poor drainage, an inability to keep up with maintenance considering the amount of time that's spent on these fields with regard to all the different rec sports that use this particular field. Over here on the right you can see that we are renovating our recycling center, which will increase our parking capacity to about 120. Right now there's only about 40 spots, but with the addition of the parking in the back and the renovation of the parking in the front, we're going to have about 120 spots. The whole purpose of renovating the parking lot is to increase the capacity for cars that are going to be down here looking at all of the kids playing the sports. We play 4 sports here: baseball, we play soccer, football, and we will include lacrosse in the future. So we're tracking all the planes that are coming over Lower Faber. We want to make sure the corporations believe us when we tell them that this is directly in the landing path of Newark International Airport. We actually have a nice big plane coming over in just a few seconds. When they're in the pattern, they come in over about every 60 seconds to 2 minutes, and they're not directly over the field, but they come either to the right or the left of the field, sometimes right over. But they're at about 3,000 feet. Some of the bigger planes come in a little lower, not sure why, but they come in at about 2,500 sometimes, but on average about 3,000 feet over the field. So you'll see a nice big plane coming in, and it's going right into Newark International Airport. We're going to sit here for about 20 minutes or so you can see how frequently the planes come in. But I'm going to go ahead and keep talking about the different aspects of the project. Game On Glen Rock has been around for about 2 years now. We've been working really diligently. A lot of the time is spent organizing and planning, and we spend about 60 hours a week on the project. Sometimes it's producing materials for mailings, sometimes it's organizing events, and it could be simply having meetings discussing what the best way to go about getting corporate sponsors and energizing the people who live in town. It's not an easy task. Everybody's sort of living their own lives, but here comes another big one. Let's see if we can get this one in the picture. He's turning now. So that was less than a minute. The next plane's coming in, and he's again going right to the left of Lower Faber Field. Anyway, we are fully dedicated to this field, even though by the time the field is installed, our kids will have aged out of the youth sports program. But we have this strong commitment to the community, as well as a belief in the need for volunteerism, especially in small communities where the tax burden is so high. We want to make sure that the taxpayers who are living in Glen Rock have the best without having to increase their overall tax burden. So we're doing this all by private funding. There's absolutely no tax money, and that's why it's taking so long to get this project completed. We have to raise $2 million. $2 million is a lot of money. We need the cooperation of everyone to kind of step up and do their share, even if they're not giving time. If they can give a little money. I could see the next plane in the distance already. So that's already less than 2 minutes away. I think there's some weather coming in, so these planes are trying to get in. But I'm not really sure how good these planes are coming in on the videotape, but I'm going to do my best to try and videotape them. Again, they're at about 3,000 feet. It looks like about that. I've been watching these planes for months now, probably day in and day out. And the pattern is pretty consistent, especially as the day goes on, because as the day goes on, the planes get backed up at Newark International Airport. they have to take this long roundabout route to try and spread out the planes and create time. So sometimes they're in this what's called a Flozy 6, or I think a Flozy 1 pattern. You can go on flightaware.com and check out how they're arriving, what the patterns are, what the pattern names are. They make it pretty easy for you. And I've been studying it for about 6 or 8 months just to make sure that we're not pulling the wool over corporate VP's eyes here. We want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and making sure that the corporations that we're soliciting to are getting their money's worth if they were to put money in the field. So let's talk about impressions a little bit. We've gathered that over a 10-year period, probably be about 20 to 30 million impressions on this particular field, between eyes that see it from the air and eyes that see it by participating in the youth sports programs. We are pretty confident that there'll be probably about 20 to 30 million impressions over a 10 to 14 year period. We use 10 to 14 years because that's the time in which I think the turf surface will hold up, at which time, here comes the next one, he's turning in now, at which time we'll have to replace the turf. But we figure if a corporation is willing to invest about $60,000 a year, they'll be able to get their corporate logo in the middle of the multi-purpose field and the dedicated soccer field. We say $60,000 a year because the multi-purpose field, which will be the main focus, will be $600,000 for a minimum of 10 years. And then the dedicated soccer field is, I think, $400,000. So that's $40,000 a year. We're trying to come up with some creative ways that the corporations can pay off their responsibility to Game On Glen Rock over a 10-year period, so that it does cost about $60,000 to $40,000 a year. And we're looking at some financing opportunities with either banks or specific companies that deal with financing. So of course we'll take the $600,000 or $400,000 up front, but if the corporation would prefer to finance it, we are open to the suggestion of using a financing company to give us the money up front and then have the corporation finance it over a period of time. We also have other advertising opportunities. We have smaller logos on the turf surface. We also have scoreboard advertising. We also have banners on fencing. We also have pennants on the light poles. They all come in at different sizes, different prices, different contract timelines. For example, anything that's not on the turf can be a contract of 5 years, and they all come in different prices. So if a corporation doesn't want to pay $600,000 for a center medallion, perhaps they can spend $100,000 or $50,000 or $60,000 on a smaller ad on the field, and then even less than that if you want to buy a banner or a pennant or a scoreboard advertisement. So we're still scouting here for some planes, looking around. I know they're coming in because before I got here today, but here comes the next one. Not sure if you can see it yet, but he's a nice big one coming in. A little closer to Faber Field, just to the left of the field. In any case, you know, we have different priced advertisements for different size businesses, even for the small businesses in the area. This is a nice big plane. So hopefully we'll be able to sell all our advertising, and if we were to sell all our advertising, that would actually pay for the field. So any money above and beyond that would be for ongoing maintenance. Any worn areas that need to be replaced could be replaced before the 10-year period. Also, it could be for increasing the concessions ability, bigger stands or more amenities for the field. We're willing to do whatever it takes to make this complex the nicest complex in Bergen County. But like I said, we're going to need the support of everybody in Glen Rock and even some corporations that would be willing to help us. And we're also willing to market those companies. You know, because we have so much visibility in our town, everybody kind of knows about Game On Glen Rock, we're willing to do some marketing for them. So let's say a company like DCH Honda, or Ingersoll Rand, or Merck Pharmaceuticals wants us to do some advertising for them. We have the capacity to reach out to our community and do some of that advertising, which would be in addition to anything that we are able to secure as advertising on the field. There's a little plane out there. I don't know if it can be seen or not, but he's taking a slightly different route, but still kind of close to Lower Faber. Less than 60 seconds from the previous plane we just saw. So they're definitely coming in fast and furious over Lower Faber today. In any case, we have our next event coming up. It is our gala. It's going to be an over-the-top event. We have great entertainment. Matt Friedman and Uptown Sounds, who played on Broadway in the show Moving Out for 3 years, is going to be performing for us. We have 2 high-profile celebrities coming, which we're really excited about. You'll be able to rub elbows with them, ask them questions, engage in conversations, get autographs. That's going to be amazing. We have top-notch food, holding it at the Venetian in Garfield, which is one of the most heralded banquet halls in all of Bergen County, maybe even New Jersey. We have top-notch Vegas-style casino games, all-you-can-eat gourmet buffet. We also have an open bar, 50-50 silent auction of some amazing prizes. So we hope that the community, as well as even some people outside the community, maybe family members, maybe business owners, will come and join us. We only have about 350 seats available. We do have a VIP cocktail hour. Wow, this one's coming right over Faber Field, and this is a nice big plane. This has got to be something like a 767 or something like that. Hopefully I'm getting it right now. It's hard to see it, but at least in my viewfinder. There it is, I see it now. Yeah, that's a big plane. It's got to be a 767 or something. He's coming almost right over my head. So, hopefully corporate owners, some VIPs, we have some special sponsorship opportunities. For example, you can be event sponsor for $2,500, and that gives you pretty much carte blanche of anything you want when it comes to our event and any kind of marketing you want us to do for you. You get to announce the winner of our car raffle, which is ongoing now and will be announced at the gala. The car raffle ends on October 17th. We'll have a nice big check presentation with the car on it the evening of the gala. It's a dress to impress affair. And tickets for general admission are only $100 for all that entertainment that evening. And for VIP tickets, it's going to be $150. So only another $50, and you actually come for an exclusive VIP cocktail hour. You actually get to take personal pictures with our celebrities. You get free autographs, free anything you want with the celebrities, open bar, butler passed hors d'oeuvres, and we're talking about some sort of special gift for any VIPs who come, in addition to what I just mentioned. So hopefully you'll all join us. It's going to be a great event, and we are working very hard on this project. We're having a hard time raising money, but you know, we're in this till the end. So if it takes 5 years, it takes 5 years. Right now, we're trying to get this field in by January of 2014. I think because of some delays we've had as a result of an event cancellation. I think it's probably be closer to the fall of 2014. But if we can get some corporate sponsors to jump on board with us, see the value of partnering with us, see the value of marketing in our town, I think that we'll be well on our way to raising the money we need. So we have another plane coming in. It's a little bit in the distance. I see it already, so that's less than 2 minutes away from the previous big plane that flew over. So I'm going to keep the camera rolling here. It's right over those trees out there that are jutting up now, and I'll follow it in. But trying to think of what else I can say about the project. You know, I think it's pretty impressive that we've been able to get this far already. There have been a number of different recreational turf projects that have tried to get off the ground, but no one really followed through with it, considering the amount of work that goes into it. I'm doing this day in, day out. We have an executive director. Oh, here comes a plane that's going into Teterboro. I don't know if we could see that one. And I'll go back. Okay, we'll go back to the other plane here. You can see that plane coming in. Mark McCullough is our executive director. He does this full time for us. He gets paid peanuts from Game On Glen Rock so that we can get all the work done that we need to get done. Without Mark, this project would be half as successful as it is right now. So I give a lot of credit to Mark for donating and dedicating his life to this project. We also have myself, obviously, and we also have Ted Beelin, who is our treasurer. We have Mark Duravage, who is our vice chairman, and we have Bruce Packer, who is our director of communications. He's also in the past been an integral part of keeping our website up to date. And you know, they dedicate as much time as they can to the project. Mark and I do most of the work. We're doing this day in, day out, like I said. There's another plane in the distance, not quite as close, but another one nonetheless. So we've probably seen about 5, 6, 7 planes come over in the last 20 minutes. And we estimate probably about 20 or 30 people are probably looking out the window to see what they can see as they're flying over. So if you multiply that by, let's say, about 150 to 200 planes a day at various times, that equates to over 20 million views of the field over a 10-year period. Now, not every day that these planes come over Faber Field, I'm not going to lie about that. I would say about 4 to 5 days a week. They come in this consistently at some point in the day. So we took that into consideration. Instead of 365 days a year, I think we figured about 200 days a year the planes are flying over at that clip. And you'll see about 200 planes a day, 200 days a year. You can't account for weather, low cloud levels, change in flight patterns, but this is pretty consistent, this pattern. We see planes come over Glen Rock every day, and sometimes I even hear them at 11 o'clock at night. We believe that, here comes another one right over Faber Field. We believe that during the nighttime hours, the field will be more noticeable because it'll be pitch black out with these high efficiency lights from Musco Lighting will really make the field pop. So when you're flying at 3,000 feet and you're looking down and you see this field illuminated with these beautiful lights from Musco, you'll be able to see the logo really, really clearly. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to find it in the screen here. It's going right there. There he goes. Alright. Anyway, we're going to stay for a few more planes. Oh, here comes the next one already. Wow, they're really flying in quick. So yeah, we feel that the logos will be better seen at night when the lights are on, but certainly during the day, if someone's looking down, you'll be able to see the logos as well. The logos are 30 foot by 30 foot. That's a pretty big logo. If you have a logo that can spread out 30 feet, there's no doubt that these planes are going to be able to see it from up above. Obviously you want a logo. The writing is going to be tougher, but if you have a small written logo, that'll be seen as well. So we plan on hopefully having a nice big concession stand. We're going to have some nice big bleachers around each of the fields. We're going to have a nice dedication area where people will have bricks, plaques, and benches they can purchase. Some have already done so. And we're going to have a brand new parking area, as you can see from the video before. Right here. They're just going to finish it up by the end of the summer, but it's going to be really nice. Those 120 spots are going to come in handy. I already see the next plane coming in. Those 120 spots are going to come in handy when we have other towns coming in. We have tournaments here. We have events that are outside of sports perhaps. I know that we're planning on having a men's softball league here and perhaps some men's softball tournaments. I know that Shooting Stars will probably want to have some county-wide tournaments here in Glen Rock, and maybe even football. It'll certainly be set up to do so. We'll have enough parking, enough spots in the area to handle all of the people coming in. Alright, so here comes the next really big plane. This is probably another Airbus or 767 or something like that. Some people have been concerned about flooding on the other side of the brook, which is going to be next to the field. Also, some people are concerned about noise and lighting. We've taken this all into consideration. We're not insensitive to the people who are going to be living around this field, and we're going to be setting up perhaps some curfews. We're going to be regulating the amount of water that flows out of the field. And we're going to make sure that the lighting system is so efficient that for those people who live on the other side of the main road, you can probably hear the plane too. For the people who live on the other side of the road, we guarantee them that there will be no light spillage onto their property. These lights are so efficient. It's called the green light system because you only have to use 30 to 50% less electrical output to create the same lighting effect as some of the old technology. And they have these reflectors on them to prevent any what we call light bleed into the surrounding area. So we've taken all that into consideration. In addition, we're going to have a 12-inch base to the field, so we'll be able to hold up to 6 inches of water in the field, as opposed to the typical drainage system, which is 6 inches. With a drainage system, here comes the next plane, with a drainage system that pretty much allows the water to flow out freely. We're going to be able to control the amount of water that flows into the brook that is adjacent to some of the houses on Dunham Place, which is right on the other side of the brook, which is known to flood. If you consider the amount of water that flows down the brook, it's called Diamond Brook, and you consider the 90 to 150,000 gallons of water that are going to be flowing out after a 1 to 2 inch rainfall, and the rate of flow coming out of the field, it's really a small amount of water considering the amount of water that's already flowing down the brook itself from upstream and natural rain water. So hopefully you can see that plane also and try and follow it here. And there it goes. Well, let's come back around. So we've taken everything into consideration. You know, we're very diligent. We take our time planning. We make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. We make sure we try not to waste precious donor money. I know that I've done a lot of things on myself, on my own time, excuse me, and in my own funds to help preserve whatever money we have in the account. Reproductions on paper, mailings. I pay for the subscription to Constant Contact when I email out all of the rec sports families. I pay for ink and paper and I don't know, whatever else comes with making all of the mailings outside of some of the larger mailings we do. Like if we're mailing out to all 4,000 residents, we obviously have a professional do that. But if we're mailing individual things out, I will pay for the postage and I'll pay for the paper and supplies myself. So, you know, we're dedicated, trying to make it happen. I'm going to keep going here a little longer. Clouds are starting to darken up. I know that there's some weather coming in. And I want to see if I can get 1 or 2 more planes in here so we finish out maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour video time. What else can I say? I don't know. I think I pretty much said it all. Next year we're going to have a home run derby. We'll have another car raffle. By the way, if anybody is listening to this video and you get the tickets in the mail, please buy the car raffle tickets. It's extremely important. We have to sell all our tickets to make this worth our while. If we sell 5,000 tickets, which is about 1.5 per household, we'll make the money that we need to make this car raffle worthwhile. So it's a fully loaded Chevy Cruze. The only thing it'll be missing is a sunroof and navigation. It has everything else. XM radio for 3 months, OnStar for 6 months, and leather heated seats. That's pretty funny. It's got electric everything, keyless entry, keyless start. So if it's the middle of the winter and you want to start the car, you could do it from inside your house. Alright, so let's see. We have one more plane. Let's see if we can get one more in here. Still looking for it. I don't see it quite yet. We might have one turning in here. We'll see if this one turns in. I see it in the distance. You probably can't see it back there. But, oh, here it is. I was looking in the wrong direction. It's coming right over my head. Maybe that one in the back will be the next one. You can probably see that coming right over my head now. See, I'm not a liar. Planes come right over the field. There he is. Alright, let's see if the next one's coming over. Oh, I think that one's going into Teterboro because he's taking a little bit of a wider, lower flight plan. He's coming right through those trees over there. Alright, one more plane. Let's see if we can get one more. Like I was saying, we're going to do a home run derby next year. Hopefully in Glen Rock. It would be great to do it on a turf field in Fairlawn maybe. That would be great so people can kind of see what the turf looks like. We did one in Upper Faber last year, which wasn't well attended. Maybe it was because it was $50 a piece, or maybe it was the heat of the summer. We'll make it a little more affordable this year, a little more family friendly, maybe do a couple of different age brackets. We'll really make it official, plan it all through the year, do a little better marketing, bring in the men's softball league. But here comes the next one. He'll come over in a second. He's taking a little bit of a more northeastern route. but nonetheless within a half a mile by the time it gets to me, about a half a mile from the field. See if there's any others coming over in any other direction. Sometimes they come in equally, but at different angles. You can probably see them coming over there. Sometimes if it's a smaller plane, they take a different route than the bigger planes. This one's obviously a commuter jet. It looks further away, but it's not. It's just a smaller plane. Believe me, I've been tracking these for 8 months. This looks like it's really like an MD-80 or something like that, or maybe even it's just a jet going into Teterboro. Who knows? See if I can get a good picture of it through the crack here. There he is. Right there. Alright, let's see what else we got going on here. Any other planes? There's another plane probably going into Teterboro up there. He's taking a wide turn. He's taking a wide track also. He's a small plane. Alright, let's see if I can get one more big plane. See if we can find them. Alright, I don't know if I said the date. Today is August 5th. The last video I did was, I think, in February, where I was freezing my you-know-what's off. But this video is just as good as that one. However, that one was over at my house. This one is actually at the site where we're going to be doing the field. You can see that the town pool is right across the way there. So we'll get even more exposure to the field from there. And hopefully we'll have a turf field in here in the next 2 years. Hey guys, wave to the camera.
Hey, how's it going?
Some Glen Rock residents. Here comes the next plane. I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bit to our west, but that would be the next plane. It's a pretty big plane. See if I can zoom in here so you can see them better. Going right over there. Goes. It's hard to see him, but there he goes. All right, anything else out there I see? There's another plane coming in, but it's going to be hard to see. I don't know if you could see it up there. You'd see it right there if you could, but he's only about 60 seconds behind the last plane. So they're all taking different tracks, starting to move just west of here, but still pretty close to Faber. At night they definitely would see the field from there. The plane. So we've probably seen about 10, 15, 20 planes. I'm not really sure how many, but I've videotaped quite a few. We're going to call it quits there. Hopefully you'll see this video as being valuable. Proof that planes fly right over Lower Faber. So if any corporations are watching, they can see that we are legitimate. We're not blowing smoke, if you know what I mean. And you'll help us out. And if you're a resident watching this video, and you've heard all that I've had to say, then you'll reach into your pockets and you'll help us out. All we need is for you to participate in all the events, come to our participate in our raffles, and if you want to give a donation, buy a brick, buy a plaque, buy a bench, you can go to our website at gameonglenrock.org and find out more information there. Thank you very much, and hopefully you'll continue to support us.